everyone. Very good morning. Welcome to a new series of podcasts by Foundership. It's called Hash It Out. And today we are going to hash out a fantastic conversation with two amazing founders, part of Foundership portfolio. Today, we are going to talk all about Web3, what inspired them, what got them to get started, how did these two guys meet, what is the core problem that they're solving, and how each one of us might eventually use their product in the coming months and a few years from now, and how the product that you're building could be the default mechanism for all of us to engage and onboard in the Web3 world. So with this, welcome Aju and welcome Adarsh to Hash It Out by Foundership. Super excited to talk to you today.
Thank you, Viblesh.
Thank you.
Excited to be here. Don't know what to expect. So let's see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the best part of a podcast, that it has to be not too much scripted, but it's got to be impromptu in an engaging conversation, right?
Yes.
So without much delay, right, why don't we jump in right away to do a quick introduction of both of you, your backgrounds as founders, what got you started, what got you excited to become entrepreneurs. So let's start with these two topics and we'll go forward from there.
Yeah. Chindu, you want to go first?
Yeah. So myself, Adarsh. The people call me Chindu. So don't get confused with Adarsh and Chindu, like both are me. So I'm basically a B2B performance-based marketer. So I have been into this blockchain industry and the both B2B industry for more than 7 years. And me and Aju were college mates, and we do have some experience in building some products when we are in college. Then this is our third stint on the startup sector, and as I said, I'm a marketer. I do have experience in account-based marketing, performance-based marketing, and like handling communities for blockchain, enthusiast for like around 7 years. And my previous experience was mostly relying on the blockchain and the B2B industry. And blockchain in the sector, I was part of a stellar-based project called Everlife, where I have run many ICOs, many campaigns for private sales, handled a community of 30K people, and it happened around 3 to 4 years back, and then before the before the last beer cycle, and I do also have some experience in digital marketing and all the stuff, and as I said, this is my third startup, and the previous one was basically a tech product that was also co-founded by me and Aju. And at that time, it didn't went well, and we later split the path and we started our journey. And my previous product was like an artist discovery platform where we were working on a platform where we help digital artists and fine artists to create their portfolio and get their clients. And currently we are at Linkdot. We both were part of Linkdot, and we have an amazing team of around 6 people, and currently going well.
Awesome. Aju.
Yeah. So yeah, myself, Aju, one of the co-founders of Linkdot. When it began, it had nothing to do with blockchain, Web3 or anything. It was actually my dad forcing me to read newspapers. He wanted me to read newspapers a lot during my 8th or 9th standard. So something that excited me just to keep me reading was actually not the sports section or like anything. It was actually the business section. So like there was editorials around like Intel, or like Infosys and stuff like that. So that got me hooked into like a story which seems incomplete. So I want to know more about that. I'm actually reading the Only Paranoid Survive right now, just to recap on like how it started right now. So it was actually like the how incomplete the stories were in the newspaper that got me to read more books, and hence then by that time again we both met in college. Now that I think about it, sounds very romantic, but we met in college, and like we had we both were in the same bus also. Like we had like a 1 hour trip to college, so we had like a lot of time to talk and tinker around things. So most of our initial projects or ideas, we worked on at least like 10 or 15 projects, products, you
Ideas,
name it,
projects, yeah.
ideas. Yeah, we built a lot of things in that 1 hour trip to college and 1 hour trip back. So, and after that, we found a bunch of people who found similar interests, and we found a club. We got government funding to start that club for the college. Now it's a big, like a business incubator right now. Now they are giving out grants. So yeah, that was a journey. I think other than that, like all the things that worked or had customers, I think Chindu explained that. But like how we got into this particular ecosystem have a lot to do with, how do I put it? Again, we were not actually hunting down on blockchain or Web3 to come here. It came from a legit frustration of how messed up the existing professional networking sites were. I mean, they were blatantly ripping people off, and like they were not even apologetic about like how messed up the situation is. And we got into it because like we have to fund this project. We both became freelancers. Now we have our entire life invested into whatever we are doing. uh, we were freelancing just so that we can fund this project and we can hire more freelancers. Now we are in this place where we are hiring freelancers and we are freelancing. Just being in the middle, we are experiencing the fact that how ineffective and how messed up this particular situation is. One particular incident that kind of triggered everything was the fact that when we are hiring, you see like in a very flowery LinkedIn profiles where they were like, okay, oh shit, like Stanford, Harvard, Harvard, and like stuff like that. Then you want to talk to him, like you want to convince him. Like as a founder, you want to sell your company to employees, like your teammates first, right? So we
Right.
went there with that mentality, and like Jesus Christ, that we had like at least 15 conversation where they were nothing like when they were talking about. So we were thinking in the lines of, there is, I mean, we of course, like others had like decent experience in the blockchain ecosystem. So like others was like, uh, so my question was like, how do we solve this, right? Like how do we fix this particular issue of talent discovery? How do we fix this problem of people lying blatantly? How do we fix this problem of
Like
like this
centralized
all?
banking system, centralized
Yeah,
transactions, and like centralized data authority problems in the
especially
blockchain.
like
Then
our frustration was mainly with LinkedIn. I don't know if we can call names here, but like our main frustration was with LinkedIn. Like how like we even did an experiment where like we faked our resume just so that like we could get followers or whatever. You can just go and check Chindu's like followers list, and you can see my followers list. Like we didn't earn it, like just by like saying some bullshit you can get it. So our thought process was like, how do we get proof and transparency that you have in the blockchain ecosystem? But like blockchain ecosystems current credentialing systems kind of lack context. It is a badge and that's about it. Nobody knows why, what, how, and all of that.
Right.
Context is there too, but that lacks what that lacks proof. So how do you bring the web 2 and web 3 ecosystems in one, like the proof and the context to one place? And that's how we came down to LinkedIn, I mean Linkdot. Jesus
Linkdot,
Christ, yeah.
yeah.
Got it. Got it. So what made you to choose this name? How did you arrive at the company name as Linkdot and your product name as your Linkdot?
So our previous
That's
company,
yeah,
yeah,
that's like our previous company name was Blank Ink Dot. So it's like the blanking dot is basically, it's like as I said, this was an artist talent discovery platform. Some like monetization features and all. So our concept was like a blanking dot. It's like a blank canvas where like the artist start, or everyone, like even an entrepreneur or artist, like they start from a dot or a line. So we start like blank canvas with a dot. So that's like a blank ink dot. So that was the concept at the beginning. And later we just need to understand like the blanking.com/Chindu or blanking.com/Aju is something very weird and very long. So we were planning to change our name to something meaningful, something which could benefit, like couldn't change like the brand concept we already have. And then we later ideated with many blockchain concepts, like there were Polkadot at that time, there were Chainlink at that time, many link concepts were there, and also like connecting the dots makes it like link dot. So that's where we came from blanking dot to the link dot. And link dot like seems like it's like legit name. It's like we do have a story on background, and it's like small and cute.
Got it. Got it.
but
Fantastic.
later we realized that like this have some sort of a familiarity with some other brand. But the fundamental aspect, the connecting the dots between talent from all over the world, connecting the dots between Web 2 and Web 3 to create a context and meaning around talent. So that's how we went down to like Linkdot as
Nice.
the concept. But
Nice.
like that was actually like a working title. Now
Got
it's a company name. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you actually you had plenty of choices on different problem statements to work at, right? So based on what you guys have just shared, it's very interesting to see that how your own personal challenge that you felt, you chose to solve that problem, and in the journey of solving that problem, you found blockchain technology and its ecosystem as a great way to solve this problem, in
Correct.
enabling the ecosystem to not only contribute in one person's credential, but also to have the credential stored in blockchain, which can essentially become a proof of work, which can then state that XYZ really does have these credentials. What if this is a path that you're onto? Talk to us, talk to our listeners, share with us. What were some of your challenges in understanding if there's a real need for this problem? What were a couple of things that you guys did? How many people did you speak to? How did you decide that this was worth a really problem to solve, and that there was no that there was no current existing solution for this?
Yeah. So how we came down to this problem was mainly to do with two of our experience. One is others being a performance marketer. He was hunting down on people for the top of the funnel, and I was a BD guy in this the organization called T Hub. So I'm filtering folks in the bottom of the funnel, right? So we both have this problem of like in a bigger bucket. He have this problem of filtering and finding the right people with a certain
Find the
set of
right
data,
people at the right time. Yeah.
and like my thing is to convert them and make money out of it. So finding the right people was always been like a both of our lives part. Like it has been something that we both have been doing. The current focus of how we are positioning this product, like even though yeah, just for listeners to know, what we are building is a proof of work portfolio tool for generalists in Web3, or like mostly freelancers in Web3. We stand out is the fact that we bring peer attestation to the kind of work that you do. What we believe in is it is not what you say that matters, it is actually what you do. So our entire UX philosophy is in and around the fact that like you are not claiming anything, you're showing what you did. If you're a designer, show some designs. If you're a content writer, show content. If you're a growth guy, show some case studies. So if you're a product guy, like show impact, like show matrices. So there are a bunch of ways for you to showcase work to the world. That's what we're doing. We are a peer verified proof of work portfolio uh, for Web3 talent. Now, the discovery of people, discovery of artists, discovery of talent has been something that we've been very excited about, because it was a challenge personally for us in our professional life for the last 5 or 6 years. Now, with this problem statement of how messed up the existing professional networking sites are, we went to not really like the specific set of people that we're going after right now. We went and spoke to a lot of people. Then is when we realized that the gap, or like the size or the frustration, is much bigger in the talentscape than anywhere else. Because currently, when we started, at least the kind of ecosystem or the kind of talent which was available in the blockchain ecosystem was very small, particularly in the developer ecosystem. Obviously there's a lot of people trying to solve that. When you look at generalist, or you need certain set of people still to write content, still to do research. You need a lot of people who understand the ecosystem, but they are not entirely coding though. So we found a lot of requirement around that, because like for developers, obviously they can show their GitHub, and like obviously you can fake that too. But like there's a lot of people who are trying to figure out how to find the right talent to write white papers for their social token project. That's how we started. That was like one of the first requirements that we had, to find somebody who have experience writing white papers, who understand the EVM ecosystems, who have written white papers for the DeFi ecosystems. That's how we started. Now, when we went out to find the people for it, we obviously went and checked for existing professionals, freelancers, part-time folks, part-time contributors, all of that. Then we found out key freelancers have it worse, because already they're like, it's almost like they never take a vacation, right? Like there is no freelancers who take a vacation and not work. Everybody work all the time. On top of that, these people who are hiring them, they're also not getting paid on time or for the quality that they are doing. On top of that, blockchain ecosystem is already hard to crack into. If you don't have relevant experience, not having a network is a major blocker to get into this ecosystem. So that's how we started connecting the dots. It came down to talking to at least 150 200 people, uh, being part of, I don't know how many communities that we are part of. So it was that. It does, like, if you come to our house, you'll see like an entire wall of just sticky notes and like just trying to categorize things around. So it was fundamentally about, again, we coming back to the point where, like, finding the right people at the right time. That was just that. That's how we just started. And this conversation led us through blockchain ecosystems and freelance Web3 part-time contributors of freelance talent. That's how we uh, came down to here, from a sales funnel to a talent discovery kind of a journey. It took us
Yeah, like
at
something to
least
add,
1.5 years.
something to add. Something to add on top of that. Like basically, me, Aju, and our co-founders, like bootstrap this project by freelancing some of our time, to our clients or like previous clients, previous organizations and all. And later we found out that even to hire us, like they are asking our proof of work. And even to like even when we started Linkdot, when we were hiring also, we were started asking the proof of work. Like as you said, there are work happening, they have the document of work, but there is no valid proof to state that this guy have done this one. And as I just said, like there was a story like where we were trying to get one person, one content writer to write a white paper, and it was completely fake, where like he didn't even know who was Satoshi Nakamoto really. And that was something alarm sign, like where the blockchain is having the OG people and the fake people. So there is some place to understand, or some way to make legit people show their proof of work in a way like we can find the right ones and the wrong ones, and the time, that right time, like right people at the right time is one of the use case where we are exploring. And currently, as you said, our initial product is only focusing on the community backed proofs, and later we are also exploring the ways like how we can integrate zero knowledge proof or other ways of proofs to our platform, where the freelancers can actually showcase their work, uh, like in a legit way.
Got it. Got it.
Vimleshi, actually, one of the biggest proof happened through one of the like exclusive events that you opened to us during last year, Idiots India. We were at this particular created a event where we just want to test this hypothesis out then, and we kind of went on stage and made up an entire story of how I am from IIT, how I worked in MakerDAO and all of that, and I'm looking for opportunities. And like this was obviously not ethical to do, but we just want to see, like, how are people getting attention, and like how to like how are we proving ourselves that, like, this fake thing actually works. So we went on
Yeah,
stage and said, "See, like, experience in Sequoia, selling a company in the US," and I had a fake accent also, and it worked massively. I asked for a quick show of
yeah,
hands, like, who want to work with me. 90% of the people showed their hands. And after that, I told you, like, this could be any of the people that you would have hired already. How do we fix this? So, and one of the guy from uh, I forget the company name. His name is Anav. Keep
Mm-hmm.
speaking in Twitter. He asked us that, like, I am a content writer. I don't have verified credentials. I may have verified credentials, but my work is not in a freaking badge. My work is showing this work. How do I get it on? How do I get it on board and show? Like, I can only show my work.
Right.
How do I get it on chain? So that clicked something. It was that day where we faked it, when we got this correct feedback, or the exact feature that we are focusing on, that came from that event.
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but at that time, I think we were focusing much more on the verified credential part, well, trying to get all the like verified credentials, aggregating all the verified credentials, issuing verified credentials for their off-chain activities. That's what our primary feature was. Like after a few interviews and after a few conversations on the ETH India time, like we later understood that there is a proper gap between the verified credentials, the proof, and the context, and that's where the proof of work concept came in. And like ideally, many people are like we have just tested this concept in many freelancers. Like we were pitched the idea, like tested their user journey map, and most of the people were really happy to work with. And also there are a couple of products in the non blockchain sector like doing these stuffs, and pretty well they are doing. Yeah. And like so that's how the this proof of work concept came into existence in this like before Linkdot.
Fantastic. Now, this entire proof of work has a different context, from references in the traditional Web2 world, right? In the Web3 world, how do you envisage this to work, and how do you actually now enable this proof of work when a new freelancer is now setting up his profile on Linkdot? So walk us through a little bit about your product, what actually happens now.
Yeah. So any new talent coming on board, it is as simple as obviously they connect the wallet, they come on board. If the wallet that they have connected is a place where they have like just say maximum amount of this NFT badges, your 90% of the work is already done with showcasing your skills and like showcasing where have you been and who have you worked with and all of that. The next stage is to get your work on chain. Right now how we do it is you do this you add, let's say you have your designs in Dribble. Now right now it's as simple as adding that link to the section in our product and adding like some sort of a description, and that's about it. But we are quickly changing, and like probably in 3 weeks down the line, it is a simple verify button with like all the integration in the Web3 ecosystem, Web2 ecosystem. Like it could be Medium, Dribble, like etc etc etc, right? All of those, it's a single click integration. You can choose what kind of a work to bring on to Linkdot. And then after that, there are two things that you can do. One is obviously, to the most part, research might be done by somebody else. If it's an article, the graphic would be done by somebody else. The content edits might be done by somebody. It's always a collaborative work, right? So you can add your collaborators. So you add those. That's one. Others are who get to prove the fact that this is a work that you did, right? It is usually your peers, your collaborators, or your clients. Now you can invite them to verify the fact that this is an impact that you have created, and that's about it. In 1 month down the line, this would be a single click integration. You just come, connect your wallet, get verified, and your profile is entirely ready. That's about it. Right now, we are in private beta. We have almost 5,000 folks in the wait list that we are working closely with. We are opening soon. I think that is something that you guys will hear about it probably tomorrow. Tomorrow evening at 8:30, we have an announcement going on with Lens guys, Lens protocol guys. But yeah, that's how you make your portfolio in Linkdot.
Fantastic. So tomorrow is 5th May. Got it.
Yeah.
So
and
sorry, go ahead, Adarsh.
yeah, like as I do mention Lens, like Linkdot is basically built on Lens protocol, and Lens protocol is basically it's a Web3 social graph built on blockchain. They're on Polygon network, so to easily like talk about Lens, like the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, like all these platforms are social graphs. And the only difference is like these social graphs has on like all the data in the social graphs and all the graph are mainly if it's like Instagram, it's only focused on Instagram. Doesn't have to do anything with the Facebook, Twitter, and all. But on the other hand, the Lens integrates their social graph into blockchain and the smart contract. So basically, all the platforms build on the Lens protocol, all the social platforms build on the Lens protocol will have same data layer, and all the followers you have, all the work, all the posts, all the content you own will be transferred to all the platforms in the Lens protocol. And I think Lens protocol is something, it's a new concept and it's something that will be trending on the coming days and coming months. So we are one of the like on the Lens, like we're building on Lens protocol, and we do like as you said, if a user came on the lens, and if one of the user, if the user is existing having many followers, like even if you have contents across multiple platforms on the lens, these can be transferred to the Linkdot, and it's more like the Linkdot content can be also be shared on other platforms. It's more like uh, we are not owning any data. The user own the data. User own their proof of, user own their credentials. We are doing anything. So all under the Lens protocol data layer, and even the Lens or even the current update after Momoko, even the Lens protocol dies also, the data will be there. So there is no worry on the data, and we are not owning anything. It's completely in a proper, legit way, decentralized way.
Awesome. So in your initial set of users, I know that you're going to onboard is obviously going to be a lot of Web3 folks who have a wallet, right? At what point, what are your thinking as part of your roadmap to bring in a lot more Web2 guys onto Web3? How are you thinking to increase your user base on that front?
So initially, at least, it's a lot of education. Currently, obviously, our focus is Web3 because in the flow and everything, like there is less kind of education needed. Fundamentally, if forget Web3, Web2, and everything, there are three main things that we are doing, right? We help you to own your work, prove your worth, and make it rain. This is not a Web3 or Web2 problem
Right.
that we are solving. It is a universal problem. So there is actually no barrier. Barrier is only in the form of the onboarding flow. So that's a kind of problem that we want to solve probably by the end of 24. That is something that we are obviously started working on. But like right now at least our entire focus is on Web3 organization trying to find talent and Web3 talent looking to get into ecosystem. That's about it. We keep speaking to a bunch of people or Web2 folks with relevant experience to come on board. Interesting thing is that those the talent in the Web2 ecosystem, they one thing that they might be missing is the verified credentials or the NFT badges. But that what they have in plenty or that they would be very good at is showing the relevant proof of work that they already have. So there is not a lot of friction right now to for them to already come on board. It's as simple as you having a wallet and you having a Lens ID, of course. But other than that, the flow is pretty simple. It is like we have made it that simple for anybody to come on board. Only missing piece would be the verified credentials, but like that is I think 4 months back when we were checking, I think it was at like some 5 million, 8 million verified credentials already minted or something. Like last month, it is like 10. It is growing exponentially. There is a lot of people coming on board too, so that will not be a problem. So finally, it comes down to the education and like the awareness of it. And I think that's where I think we will be working together with folks like Foundership, like our OG Club guys. We're working with some folks at Talent Layer from, I think they were at Lisbon right now. So it is fundamentally, it comes down to, excuse me, like an awareness game, and we are all for it.
Got it. How critical has been these partnerships, and what were these kind of challenges you faced in kind of getting Lens protocol attention? Because the word on the street is, they are a tough nut to crack. It's always been because they get so much amount of request. Even for them, it is very tough to understand which is a legitimate request, who's really looking to integrate versus who is not. So what are some of the things that you guys did that might help someone else who's looking
It's
to get
actually
in touch with
completely
Lens?
opposite experience. It's actually completely opposite experience. I mean, we both keep saying that like you don't bet on companies, you bet on people, right?
Right.
So one particular person that we look up to or we read about is obviously Stani. Another person is the director of Devrel Nader. So we've been reading and learning a lot from them since day one. And it is like from outside it might look like an intimidating ecosystem to get into, but like and they were very smart in terms of understanding and calling bullshit. So we one way to look at it is obviously we bombarded them. We've been talking to them since a long time. And by the time when we had our product ready to go, the one particular thing that we did right was like this one tweet that went somehow reached the Lens ecosystem. And if the community is all for it, then that's all you need. So thankfully, not thankfully, Lens is an awesome ecosystem and like a very good community to be part of, and they saw it, and it was mostly like them inviting us to the community, and like yeah, and there are it's literally been obviously like three weeks since we've been like very involved with the Lens ecosystem. But we have
Fantastic.
again somewhat exciting news coming out again tomorrow.
Sure. Sure.
There are some more announcements coming with them, and something exciting that happened is that there is this other ecosystem called Talent Layer. Now, in the conventional sense, when you see somebody in a competing sense or like something very close to you, you think of it as a competition. But like here, it's a beautiful partnership that you can forge. So Talent Layer was already working with Lens protocol, and they're our layer for the marketplace integration for like escrow, on-chain reviews, on-chain jobs, on-chain proposal systems. We work with Talent Layer with that. Lens is beautifully integrated with Talent Layer, and like we got into that ecosystem very faster. And integrating this marketplace was in our roadmap probably 6 months down the line, because of how helpful like the dev team or the core team at Lens and Talent Layer is. We get to do that in 3 weeks.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So it was more about winning the community, right?
Correct.
And getting the community's
Correct,
attention
yeah.
of a protocol than
Correct.
getting the key people behind the protocol to get your attention. So that's
Correct.
Correct. And also like something I need to mention about Lens is like the Lens dev garden, like the people in the Lens community is very helpful. Like some of them voluntarily came into our Discord and helped us to fix our Discord channels. And they even suggested us to like how to get all the things done. And like even Nadar also, like if we can like actually we got some like help from the Lens. Like Nadar was very helpful, and to even getting in the Lens handle from anything, like the community, the Lens garden, the core community, everyone, they're very helpful. Even any doubt, any dev problem facing, just drop the message into group. There, someone from the dev team, anyone from the dev team can help us. And like it's very like to get into the Lens community might be a hurdle for some, but it's actually one of the most active community I have been part of.
Got it. So as you're currently in the stage where your ability to verify one's work is based on the NFTs that they collect, do you foresee this is going to be the standard form for everyone to kind of earn their badges as POAPs, as NFTs, or as any other form, that it's all going to be NFT as a standard to kind of get a verified proof of work, and that's something that you would convert, enhance, showcase, and I get to monetize, I get to in future, all like today when I have to share anything with my external world about my professional work, all that I do is to share my LinkedIn profile. So are you heading the way that when all my proof of work gets aggregated and very, very clearly displayed on Linkdot, that tomorrow I will replace my LinkedIn profile with Linkdot to share to the world?
Yeah, that is exactly the route that we are taking, obviously. But like very interesting question that you begin with, like, is it going to be NFTs that is going to take the forefront in the proof and context front? Our thesis is it's very confusing at this point. Like there is no legit answer to that, because if you look at it, right, like how many protocols doing credentials do we know right now? I have a list of 100, 112, something like that. The problem with that is banks need a certain type of credentials. Colleges need a certain type of credentials. Engineering colleges need something else. Doctorate needs something else. Medicine needs something else. So the data set standards and everything is very diverse. Now you end up creating something which is again siloed in different platforms, different chain and all of that. So that does not look like a very promising future in terms of how we can aggregate credentials to one place, because like the standards are different, designs are different, data sets that you depend to are different, all of that is very different. So that was actually how we started this product in terms of aggregating credentials. But that again, that we are again going back to how web 2 ecosystems are right now. It is again a claim, it's a proof, it's a certificate, but you don't know what, how, why, and all of that. What we think is we are going to we are going we are in a world where like we are the workforce is reaching something we call it the ownership revolution, where certificates really doesn't matter. If you are a talented individual, you have a history of good work with a reputed set of people, then then sky's the limit for you as a talent. So it is fundamentally about showing provenance of your work. So if when you ask, is it going to be NFTs? It will come down to proving the fact that you are the real author or you are the real creator of this particular work. So provenance is the answer there. So again, like this provenance would again like come back to like some shape or form of soulbound tokens and all of that. But like we right now we obviously don't have like an entire answer on it. But like yeah, I don't think it will be NFT badges for the longest run. There is something else that it is a work
The
history
technology
obviously
will
and
change.
provenance.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. All right. So that's great. So NFT is going to be a key layer of enabling credentials. So do you guys see Linkdot also becoming a minting platform for a lot more things, where if I as a freelancer, my current platform where I do work doesn't give me an NFT for the work that I do, but then I come to Linkdot, is there a way that I can enable Linkdot to issue me an NFT? Do you see that as coming up as part of your roadmap, as part of your future use case that you build?
As of now, our idea is to again linking dots between multi-platform, multiple chains, multiple dApps to create meaning out of the kind of impact that you have or the kind of work that you have on chain. Our current focus is aggregating these proofs and context into one particular place. We are exploring use cases of NFTs in terms of, but I mean, obviously there are a million ways that you can bring about NFTs, but like our real question is that like, you know, what is actually the real value to users at this point? Currently, we don't see, how do I put it? We don't see like terrific value in terms of we also doing it. Our idea is like one thing that we are tinkering in our labs is how do we leverage AI to bring about and figure out, let's say there is a Mona Lisa and there is a million other Mona Lisas. There is like one board ape in like Ethereum, and like you are making fake things, and like, let's say in Solana, like, you know, like how do you
Losing your
figure
video.
out like, you know, what is the
I
right
think,
one? So we
yep, yep.
Yeah.
yeah
We lost you there, Aju, for a bit. Can you repeat that?
yeah I think the Bangalore rains are helping us today. But yeah. Yeah, so what our most of our research currently are on proving provenance of work and proving that with NFTs. That is something that we are excited about to figure out. That means like, you know, connecting a lot of dots in terms of data sets and all of that. We are like we don't have something entirely concrete yet, but like yeah, to answer your question, becoming another credentialing ecosystem is not something that we are looking at right now. But like yeah, provenance is something that we are very excited about coming out with.
Got it. Fantastic. Talk
And
to me
also
about,
there are
yeah,
possibilities of NFTs, reputation NFTs, solvent token NFTs, uh, which can we could explore. Like similarly, like all the proof of work will be a solvent token. The profile ID layer will be like IDs will be also solvent token. Likewise, we can do some more like non-transferable security wise, like reputation wise. We could alter some smart contracts and we could create new standards in future. We are also exploring some part. These are not our quick, these are not in our quick roadmaps, but we are also exploring the possibilities of getting more reputation into the NFTs.
Got it. Got it. Talk to our audience a little bit about the stack behind Linkdot that exists as of today. What's your kind of roadmap looking like over the next 12 to 18 months?
As I said, the Linkdot is basically have like the application which is built on Lens protocol. We are basically on the Polygon, similar to we are like everything. Like we're currently a DApp and will be a protocol in coming years in the roadmap. As of now, the major way like Linkdot can be explained in that tech way, like it's like a basic platform for you to create a proof of work and engage with the proof of work. You can engage with collab with the people to work with, and also can find jobs easily. And every transactions are like on chain, like every proof of work will be NFTs, and all the endorsement or the attestation will be also be tracked on chain. And in our current roadmap, we are trying to make it like a protocol, like as I just said, like it should be an easy way to track and create your reputation with the help of your work you have done, with the help of the credentials you own across the platform, across the chain. So we are progressing into that way. And that's what about the Linkdot, the tech stack mainly about. And currently, the way we are building is like we are testing with the why we are started with the Lens ecosystem is basically because Lens is having a close community of a good number of active users and good number of quality users. So if we have an opportunity to test their social graph, and likewise we can get our ideas, our thesis run in a proper way, like test it successfully in the Lens. If it can done on Lens, we can replicate it into any platform outside any ecosystem. So likewise, it's like a great opportunity for Linkdot to start with this. And yeah, this is about our current tech
Awesome.
scenarios.
Cool. So you guys have been at it for over 6-8 months now, right? Or close to a year. Talk to us a little bit about your entrepreneur journey. What has been some of your great experiences and some lessons learned? And in this process, if you had to rewind your clock 9 months ago, what you would have done things differently?
I think we both are going to author a book very soon. Not very soon, probably, but I think the headline is going to be "How Not to Fuck Up." See, I've been in the startup ecosystem for 5-6 years. I worked with over 2,000 people. So one thing that we all know very well is that there is no one way of doing things. There is no right way of doing things. There's a good chance of you knowing how not to fuck up than how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that you need to. If you look back, we would have done things. How we would have done things differently is that we would have. I want to do more and think less and plan less. Yeah, that gets you more leverage in terms of knowledge and like the places that you can reach than thinking. We wasted a lot of time in like things like business model canvas and stuff like that. I mean, obviously that gives you clarity, that gives you some structure to think. But one thing that my ex-boss used to say is like, I'm a thinker, I'm a planner. I like to think things through. I need to plan things through. And when I present to my senior leadership, he used to say like, and what have you done? So that is something that that came in very evident during our entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, in our journey, because it's very easy for us to get into like analysis paralysis to the most part because we have our life on the line. This is our baby. This is what we are all about at this point. So getting into analysis paralysis is something that we will get into a lot. So having a community to call bullshit on quite often, high frequency, as something that helped us. So second thing that we would change is to find your tribe and like having them close, and like the part where you spoke about the community, right? I think that is something that Foundership enabled us with too. The initial set of that like 7 or 8 people that we had, uh, we are friends right now, and you can be very honest with them, and they are very honest with you too. And you don't shy away from giving the right feedback at the right time, and none of us sugarcoat. So that take you places more than thinking and planning. I don't know if this is a good advice to give to kids, but but like, yeah, I think you need to do more. You need to do a lot more and fail a lot more quickly.
Right. That's the whole point of
Correct.
try fast and
That's
fail fast. Yeah.
how I would change
Yes,
things.
yes,
That's how
yes,
I would
yes.
have done.
Yeah. Any thoughts you want to add on, Adarsh?
Correct. You
Yeah,
plan to
like
learn.
uh, I agree with Aju. Like that's where we are. Like that's what we do. And some things I need to add up. Like for the entrepreneurs like who are going to startup, like some things they need to have in their mind is like they just need to work hard. Like they just need to focus on one thing. Don't focus on multiple things. Like if our for example, like for me and Aju, our vision was to always the discovery. Like I don't know, like all our conversation from the start, like as I suggested, like I was on the top of the funnel discovering the leads. He was on the bottom of the funnel. Later we just came on to the discovering artists. Then like came on to like discovering talent. Everything was like on a single direction. Our vision was always correct, and on the other way, the momentum. Like me and Aju, we were trying, we were iterating, we were like pivoting. We haven't lost our momentum at any point of time. We haven't quit anything. We were doing hard work. We know that somehow this will work, and that should be there. The momentum they should always keep, and also always thinking like all the team, like as Aju said, the community, the team, the tribe they have, they should always focus in one direction, not on the multiple direction. Like it will deviate your focus. These are two things to add up on that journey. Like I think these two were one of the core things we are focused on.
Fantastic.
Uh,
Amazing. Well, I think what you mentioned, being part of a tribe, is something very critical because, having peers who are also going through a similar stage and similar
Yeah,
challenges gives so much solace and confidence to say that, hey, you're not on this journey alone. Though you may have co-founders, but, still that feeling that, are we the only ones facing this problems or the situations, or is it a common thing that every startup is going through? I think that's
correct.
that's very critical to have such an ecosystem. I think that was aptly enabled through the 0x Camp and the Launch Camp initiatives at Foundership. You have been
Yeah.
part of our first portfolio journey as well. So share a little bit about what your experience was, why you would recommend someone to be part of an ecosystem that not only helps you to navigate these challenges through a peer group, but also have the right support to help you make tremendous progress.
So my career, me and others studied, born and brought up in Kochi. That was our small little bubble. Then I moved to Bangalore for business. I traveled all around, but uh, my plan was obviously like how do I say this? The watering hole for blockchain currently in India is obviously Bangalore. So I made the tough decision to move to Bangalore, and with everything that I had, to Bangalore. So building a network and again finding my tribe is something very important, because my past job also have to do with building pockets of these tribes to do some massive stuff. So the first thing that we did was obviously look for those small pockets, and we found a bunch of them. And something that kind of like others said, we never stopped on our momentum. Something that kind of skyrocketed our momentum is obviously both of you guys, you and Santosh and the coach Dao. And but I will not go on and on about how accelerator helped and all of that, because that kind of set us to like the 90-day plan that we made in January on the rooftop of our previous office, as and like that day you told that if you know a lot about your capabilities and your market, and like you kind of overanalysis everything, then you are really underestimating your targets. So being ignorant is okay at this point, and that will take you places. And that day we had like a target of X at that time. If you, I don't know if you remember, but like with the same 90-day plan, we were able to do 7X than how we were planning at that time. And these kind of things only come from people who call bullshit on you quite regularly. Uh, that can have enabled with you and like my other co-founder friends right now. That is one. Another thing is, when I came to Bangalore, I didn't have a place to stay. We were couch surfing a lot. So my office was the third waves and like the paper and pies and like the blue guys of Bangalore. So beautiful thing about blockchain, people are like, we are always, we are all experimenting, we are all learning. We don't know that nothing is set in stones at this point, at least. So it's very important that we speak and we share knowledge. And you will feel that when you're wearing a Foundership t-shirt and is going to like a third wave of blue token, there is a bunch of people who is having a conversation. So bunch of the friends that I made initially, it's only been a year. I feel like it's been there, been in the city at least for a long time. So so I made a lot of friends like that also. And the access that you get, again, because of the people, it is not a lot to do with like you guys doing the work, but it is mostly have to do with the network that uh, uh, the launch camp enabled us with, which enabled us to open doors for ourselves. So yeah, I again come back to like calling bullshit in high frequency, and like finding your tribe, and like underestimation to the most part, because like we are overthinkers, founders are. But yeah, these are the three main takeaways from like working with you guys since the last 7 months now. Yeah, 7 months.
Yeah, 7 months.
Yeah.
Amazing. Adarsh, any thoughts from you before we wrap up?
Yes, like the major, like as you said, the major points you already covered. Some of the points, likewise, our advisors were like our coaches were actually very keen on finding the problems, like the rectifying the problems we are focusing, and also the change. Like the first thing we got from the advisors was don't change on don't focus on multiple products, multiple directions. Focus on the one direction and always keep building on one direction. That was one of the things. That one direction and the right momentum we get from the foundership team was very helpful for the like first 7 months we started. Like as I just said, I just moved from Hyderabad to Bangalore, and I was in Bangalore, and we started creating our products, our journey, our like building a community. Everything went right with the help of Foundership. We do got some great momentum, accessing to many people, many meetings, everything with the help of you guys, and that was something the founders should get in the beginning of their journey, because like starting their own without any backup or without any help from any experienced people will get them with a slow pace. And if they have a good experienced people around them, they can move it very fast in a single direction, focused, relaxed, and work hard.
Got it.
So this is what like this is my point of view, where like how we got improved.
Fantastic. Amazing to see this, and amazing to see how far you guys have come, and the confidence and the kind of visibility into the roadmap that you have is amazing. To see from where you were 8 months ago to where you are right now. Fantastic, guys. So with this, we come toward the end of today's podcast. You can find more details on Linkdot at linkdot.xyz. Take a look at them, and do sign up on the wait list so they can open up, and you can claim your profiles as soon as the wait list opens up, and encourage this team. This team has built everything from grounds up, coming from southern part of India, very energetic set of founders who are very passionate on ensuring that real people who have done great work get the right credit. right? And are able to monetize their due credibility in the long run. And that's how we make the world a better place for all of us to have higher levels of trust, confidence, and people all around us can become successful when they are more reliable, right? And they are more trustworthy. So with this, thank you so much, Ju and Adarsh, for joining in on our new series, Hash It Out, with founders, and super conversation. Very excited to hear in the next few months. Would love to do a catch up again to hear new updates and new progress and new milestones that you guys would have achieved as part of your journey as entrepreneurs. And at some point in a few years, would love to have you guys come in as coaches to guide the next generation of entrepreneurs that you have an opportunity to pay it forward as well, right? So for all the listeners thank you so much. With this, we wrap up. For more about Foundership and its programs, do check out foundershiphq.com. We have a 3-month incubation program now called 0x Camp in a new format, which is a 3-month virtual program and 1-month optional engagement centers around the world. And you have a 3-month launch camp program, again in a new revised format, for companies that have raised funding, right? So with this, take a look at foundershiphq.com and hit us up, and we'll be happy to talk to you if you're a founder building something exciting on Web3. So thank you so much for everyone listening in. This is Bimlesh Gundarao, co-founder at Foundership, signing off today, and talk to you soon later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, yes.